Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you try, some patterns just keep repeating in your life? Why you might find yourself drawn to the same kinds of relationships, reacting with anxiety to certain situations, or struggling with stress that seems to have no obvious cause? Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a house. The rooms you visit every day, your conscious thoughts are familiar, organized, and lit up. But there's a basement too, where memories and emotions from your earliest years are stored. And sometimes what's in that basement starts running the whole house. Today, we're diving into a therapeutic approach that helps people explore that basement safely and gently. Specifically, how it can help you unpack and rewire childhood trauma that hides in the subconscious, and how that process can free you from unhealthy patterns, toxic relationships, and even physical symptoms. If you've ever found yourself asking, why do I keep ending up in the same situation, even when I know better? You're not alone. Science now shows that the answer often lies below conscious awareness, in the subconscious mind. How trauma gets stuck. Childhood is when our core beliefs about ourselves and the world are formed. When something traumatic happens, anything from neglect to more obvious abuse, those experiences don't just fade away. Instead, they get wired into our subconscious, shaping our habits, our stress responses, and the kinds of people we're drawn to. Maybe you've noticed a friend who always ends up with critical partners, or someone who feels anxious in situations that seem totally safe. These aren't conscious choices. They're the echo of old wounds replaying quietly but powerfully in the background. So what if you could go straight to the source, not just talk about your childhood, but actually change the way your mind holds these memories? Hypnotherapy is not about swinging watches or mind control. It's a gentle, focused form of therapy that helps you access the subconscious, the part of your mind where those early experiences and emotions are stored. A hypnotherapist guides you into a relaxed state. You're always in control, but you're also more open to exploring memories, sensations, and beliefs that you might normally keep locked away. This relaxed state, the trance, is actually quite natural. We all experience it when we're absorbed in a book or a movie, or even driving a familiar route. But does it really work? Let's look at the research. A 2016 study published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology examined how hypnotherapy can help people process traumatic memories. Researchers found that participants who received hypnotherapy reported significant reductions in anxiety, depression, and PTSD symptoms compared to those who did not. Brain scans even showed changes in areas involved in emotional regulation. These suggest that hypnotherapy doesn't just help you talk about trauma, it can actually help you rewire your brain's response to it. Imagine being able to revisit an old memory, not to relive the pain, but to reframe it, to understand it with the wisdom and safety you have now. That's the promise of hypnotherapy. Let's break down what actually happens in a session. You might be guided to gently revisit an early memory, say a moment when you felt alone or unsafe. In this relaxed state, you can access not just the memory, but the feelings and beliefs attached to it. Maybe you realize you've been carrying the belief, I'm not worthy of love, or I have to be perfect to be safe. The hypnotherapist then helps you challenge and update those beliefs. For example, you might visualize your adult self comforting your younger self, or imagine the situation resolving in a healthier way. This isn't just wishful thinking. Your brain actually starts to make new neural connections, weakening the old unhelpful patterns. Let's take Sarah. Not her real name. She came in stuck in a cycle of anxiety and self-sabotage. Through hypnotherapy, she uncovered a childhood memory of being criticized by a teacher. In trance, she was able to view the scene with compassion and realize that her worth wasn't defined by that moment. Over time, her anxiety faded, and she found herself making healthier choices almost effortlessly. What's really amazing is that these changes don't just show up in your mind. They can ripple out into your body too. Chronic stress from unresolved trauma can lead to headaches, insomnia, digestive issues, and even immune problems. When you rewire those old patterns, the body can finally relax. Clients often report sleeping better, feeling lighter, or noticing that old aches and pains start to fade. Traditional talk therapy is powerful, but sometimes it hits a wall, especially when trauma is stored outside of conscious memory. Hypnotherapy goes deeper, tapping into the root causes rather than just the symptoms. It's not about erasing memories, but about transforming how you relate to them. If you've tried everything else and nothing seems to stick, hypnotherapy might just be the missing piece. If you're ready to break free from old patterns, or if you're simply curious about how your mind works, consider giving hypnotherapy a try. It's not magic, but it can feel pretty magical when you start to notice your life shifting in ways you never thought possible. Your story isn't set in stone. With the right support, you can rewrite it, even the chapters you thought you could never escape. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to learn more, or if you're ready to take your first step toward healing, reach out to a qualified hypnotherapist in your area or online. You deserve to live with freedom, peace, and self-love.